Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Kiera, and today I am going to be telling you guys where you can find ideas for content. I know. You can be in you can get into a creative rut where you feel like you don't know what the heck to do. You feel like you run out of ideas. You don't have any source of inspiration. You're kind of over it. You kind of want to be done with it. Like you don't want to deal with it at all. Like, I get it. I've been there. This is going to be really good for people who are in the creative rut and need a new source of inspiration, or for people who can't really tap into that creativity or feel like they're not creative. I'm going to give you two different ways where you can find ideas for your content creation. Now, typically, when people online, typically when people tell you where to find ideas for content creation. Usually you see Answer the Public, Quora, Reddit, Facebook groups, or keyword search on Google or social media platforms. That's typically where you can find content ideas from, right? I'll start by the first thing. These are for my people who just like not creative at all. It's just like, I just need a simple solution. I need something that is just quick. I'm going to tell you a strategy I did with ChatGPT. So I had a client. They have a lot of footage on YouTube, and like it's like over 10 hours of footage. And I cannot sit down and watch all 10 hours of that footage. So what I did was I typed in on ChatGPT, I typed in, okay, can you give me a summary of ideas based off of this person's social media profile? So they gave me a list of content ideas based off their social media profile. And I didn't really use any of the content ideas that they gave me, but I did. But seeing those content ideas sparked other content ideas for me in my head. I really kind of used that to help me like jog my brain to keep it rolling. I ain't really use none of the yeah, I didn't use any of the content ideas they gave me, but I did use that as a spark for inspiration. So if you're someone who doesn't really know what to do, I would say I would ask ChatGPT. I do with my own personal page too. I would ask ChatGPT to analyze your business social media platform and ask them, based off of this platform, what type of content should I create, or what type of content can I create? And they'll give you a whole list of ideas. And like when I did it for my personal and for the client's page, I was like, they have some pretty good ideas, but like I said, like I kind of use that as a source of inspiration, kind of to jog my memory, to jog my creative juices, and kind of like play off of that, build off of that. Like, okay, you're saying this. I'm like, I like literally like I'll be reading it, and I'm like, oh, do da da da, and I'm just like, and I'll read the idea, and I'm just like, oh wait, no, but I could do this. This seems better. This seems to align more with the client, because like again, ChatGPT is a machine. Like it's smart, but like we're the experts, so I don't solely rely on it, but I do utilize it to my advantage, especially in that case. I would encourage you to do the same. Like if you don't want to go through all your footage, say you had the old YouTube content where you have all this educational stuff and you don't feel like going back through that, plug that into ChatGPT and ask them to come up with a list of content ideas. That worked for me. That was very helpful for me, and very useful. So that's one way where you can source content, create content ideas. Now I know people are really funny about AI and like, oh well, you know, it's a computer. You're not doing the work, and yada yada yada. Woo, woo, woo. It's how you utilize it. It's literally how you use it. Like you just gotta be strategic and intentional about the words that you use and being specific about what you want it to do for you. Because like it, we gotta work smarter, not harder, right? So I would definitely encourage you to use that to help you just see what they say about what type of content you should post based off the content that you post, and I promise you, you will get some ideas based. At looking at the list. Like you may take some ideas from the list, but just looking at the list, like you'll immediately start getting ideas come to your mind. Like, oh shoot, I could do this, or I could do that, because it just shows you so much that you talk about that you didn't even realize that you talk about. So then you could just pull from that and be like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, yada 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 yada. So that's one way. Um, Now another thing I do when it comes to like coming up with ideas for content creation, I keep a running list of ideas in my notes app on my iPhone. That has been so helpful for me when it comes to creating content ideas, especially when I hit a rut and I kind of don't know what to do or what I want to do. I kind of revert back to the ideas that come to mind. Like, it's so many. I always say, like, I need something by me because I have so many ideas just running through my mind that I just need something to just jot down right on the paper. So that's what I do when it comes to content. I have a running list of content ideas in my notes app when it comes to content creating. I it's been so helpful and useful for me, so I encourage you to do the same because you never know where you can draw inspiration from. And that leads me into my next point. It's to find inspiration somewhere else. Like, stop looking in the same places as everyone else for inspiration. And walk with me. I'm going to tell you a mini story time of how I got here. So I was on fashion TikTok. And if you don't know, I have a background in fashion, and even though I'm not actively in fashion, I still like to keep up, like to be updated and keep up with what's going on in the industry, the designers, and all that good stuff, right? So I was watching this TikTok creator, and she was basically saying how like personal style, like everybody's cultivating their personal style is big, and nowadays a lot of people on social media look like copycats of each other, like no one has their individual personal style, but yet everybody's seeking their personal style, but end up looking like everyone else. So she goes to say that the reason why everyone looks like everyone else is because everyone is going to the same source to look for inspiration. Pinterest, social media, whatever website that blows up that influencer may let you know about. And she was saying the people who know how to dress well, that have a really strong sense of personal style, have curated that because of their experiences in life, because of what they exposed themselves to. It wasn't the same thing as the peers, as the people around them. It's what they exposed themselves to was very unique and personal to them, and therefore that translated through their style and how they express themselves. So it really made me think about content. I feel like that's, content is copy and paste. So copy and paste, it looks so much alike because everybody is drawing inspiration from the same source. No one's going outside of those sources to get inspiration. So it made me think, like, okay, where else can I draw inspiration from? And honestly, like, when it comes to like my content, inspiration, I actually been getting my inspiration from like podcasts, conversations I have with people, or movies. Films has like been a really big inspiration for me lately. Like watching films, I've been getting ideas from watching films, like whole content, like a whole content video based off of film. I did a video on that. You might see it before this. Who knows? But like, I've been looking to other things besides social media, besides the typical things that I've been originally introduced to when it comes to creating content. I've been looking outside of that. I've been looking at cinematography channels. I just been exposing myself to different things to get a new source of inspiration. I feel like another person who's really good for that is Danye Taylor. I think that's her last name. I know, but yeah, but y'all know her name. Danye's really big on that, just seeking inspiration outside of the social media norm. I know she's one of the first creators, at least on social media, that has kind of done that and kind of has based, I don't want to say based her brand around it, but like definitely you could see the shift in her content and how she's been able to separate herself from her peers within that industry. Well, that's a really good example of how you can see someone who kind of is seeking their source from elsewhere. And the theories that she comes up with is really cool and unique and personal to her brand because it where she's drawing this inspiration from isn't where everybody else is drawing their inspiration from. So I would really encourage you to look at other avenues, other platforms, or different forms of media or books or whatever it is to draw and seek inspiration. think that will really help you with sparking your interest and your knowledge, or sparking, just kind of sparking that creative engine in you to start thinking of ideas. So that's my take. That's my advice on how to curate and come up with new content ideas. I hope this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts about this. Like, I'm really curious to know what you guys think. What's going on in your head? Do you struggle with coming up with content creation ideas? Have you been in the rut? Like, is this something, a cycle that you go through? Like having a good creative run and then hitting into a brick wall and then kind of staying in this rut period and then finding your way out. Like, let me know. I'm curious to know about that. So let me know in the comments. As always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.